Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. In this video, we will presenting the financial accounting and reporting of a business. After a several discussion with our groupmates, we strongly agree to choose a sole proprietorship business called Batek Bae as our reference. Before I go further in this topic, let's go to the background of Batek Bae business organization. Batek Bae was established by an entrepreneur named Encik Abdul Ashraf bin Rashid since 2022. Batek Bae are known as sole proprietorship business because there is only one owner in this company, which is Encik Ashraf. The initial capital that has been released to establish Batek Bae are as much as around 25,000 ringgit Malaysia. The capital release is not large since it only focuses on online business through the website or social media that has been exposed for customers. Although Batek Bae operates its business by online, Batek Bae also has an office located at 1B Jalan Suarasa, 8/3 Bandar Tun Hussein on Cheras, Selangor for keeping their batik stocks. Without further delays, let's look at the business activities carried out by this organization. The main purpose of Batek Bae was established is to revive the design of batik in this modern age. By producing the latest design, it can attract the interest of young people and adult people to wear it. In addition, Batek Bae also provide affordable price for every class of society. Interesting, isn't it? So, it doesn't matter if the rich or not rich people group can afford to buy Batek Bae shirts. And last but not least, as I stated at the beginning of the video, Batek Bae operates only by online and it will make it easier for customer to buy it wherever they are with just one click, and then the product will be sent to their home as soon as possible. That's all from me. Let's move on to the next segment. Thank you.
Thank you, Yazid. Assalamualaikum and have a good day to everyone. Thank you to our lecturer, Madam ROHAYU. My name is Nur Distina Binti Harmi. I would like to present to you guys about characteristic of business. The business characteristic for sole proprietorship is a business that is run by a single individual who makes all the decisions, although the proprietor may engage employees. The sole proprietor is personally entitled to all of the profits and is responsible for any debts that the business incurs. Next, I will explain in detail about characteristics of business sole proprietorship. My first point is capital. For sole proprietorship, the owner must contribute the capital in order to start the business. Next is management and control. The business will managed and controlled by the owner of the business. For Batek Bae, the person who manages and controls the business is Encik Abdul Ashraf bin Rashid. For the liability in the sole proprietorship is unlimited. If the business fails and the assets are not enough to pay debts, the payable have a right against to the owner properties to pay the debt. Besides, for profit and losses, it belongs to the owner, and if any losses in the business, it will be borne by the owner. Other than that is books and account. In sole proprietorship, there's no legal obligation to keep the books and prepare the accounts. Last but not least is no separate business entity. There's no distinction is made between the business and the owner. For proprietorship, both are the same. I will continue with the classification of business item. For classification of business item have 5 words. First is asset, second is liability, third is capital, fourth is expenses, and lastly is revenue. I will explain what kind of business item that included on Batek Bae. First is asset. Asset is properties who owned by a company that give the benefits company in future. For Batek Bae, there has 2 assets. First is current asset, which is cash and stock. The second is non-current asset, which is premise where they operate the business, and also the vehicle that helps them to send goods to customer. The second business item is liability. Liability means financial obligation of business to its creditor. For Batek Bae, they use short-term loan, which is the loan to bank to buy machine for produce the goods. My next point is expenses. What is expenses? Expenses means money or cost that incurred in order to gain revenue. For Batek Bae, they use some money to make marketing advertising materials, and also they have to pay the salary of workers who helps them to manage the business operation. Lastly, they have wages on maintenance service for their machine. Every business must have capital to develop their business. In Batek Bae, the owner will contribute the capitals in terms of cash and also their intellectual on closing. And lastly is revenue. Revenue means money that generate from business operation. They get revenue from cash payment that make from customer who buy their beautiful traditional batik clothes. That's all from me. Thank you. I would like to pass to next presenter, Miss Annie.
Thank you, Ms. Christina. Assalamualaikum and a very good day to Madam ROHAYU and my fellow friends. Now it's my turn to discuss regarding the business process and how Batek Bae records its financial transaction during running the business. In accounting process, we have among 7 processes, where the first process are known as business transaction. As we can see now, Batek Bae are involved in several transactions such as cash transaction, debit-credit transaction, and online payment. Business transactions are important in any business and it will determine whether the entity is weak or growing. The second process are known as source of document. There are examples of several documents that involve in Batek Bae business like purchase order, bills, and receipt. In Batek Bae business, a purchase order is the first document issued by a buyer or customer to a seller, indicating types of materials, quantities, and agreed prices for the product. It is used when the Batek Bae needs to order the stock for their batik. Next is bills, an accounting document that states the amount for customer to pay for a product that is purchased. It is also considered as a payment reminder. Batek Bae will issue a bills before the payment will be made, and they will use bills to inform their customers the total of the product that they have purchased, and after that followed by the receipt. Receipts are an official record that represent proof of a financial transaction or purchase. In Batek Bae business, they use receipt to give for their customer after make the transaction for their purchases. But sometimes, if the customer pay by online or using QR Pay, all the documents below are recorded in online or by using a system so that all the transactions above will be fully recorded to avoid any possible problem occurred between the sellers and the customers. Other than that, there are also other different documents included in Batek Bae business such as invoice, delivery order, and so on. For the third process are journals. Journals is a detailed account that records all the financial transactions of a business to be used for the future of accounts and the transfer of information to other official accounting records. Some companies employ a computerized accounting system, while others may still be using manual accounting like Batek Bae since the business are still new and small scope. Either way, journals are important for Batek Bae in order to keep or record transaction. When a financial transaction happens, the bookkeeper records the transaction into the journals and a journal entry. The entry will detail the dates when the transaction was made, the account affected by the financial transaction, the corresponding amount involved for each account affected, and a brief explanation to support the transaction. Regularly maintained journals are also essential for accounting purpose because they provide information about money coming into and going out of Batek Bae business for them to review. There are several journals that will be involved in Batek Bae business, such as sales journals, purchase journals, cash receipt journals, and general journals. Next, we follow by the fourth process, which are ledger. Ledger are the next step after journals where the result of the transaction are kept permanently. It is an account or record used to store bookkeeping entries for balance sheet and income statement transaction. Accounting ledger journal entries can include accounts like cash, inventory, and customer deposit. For example, Batek Bae will record or list down their transaction in ledger, and from that, Batek Bae will see whether the increasing or decreasing based on related account will be determined the balance. We will continue with the fifth process, which are trial balance. Batek Bae using a trial balance, which the balance of the ledger that are made before will record into debit and credit account column. Batek Bae will prepare a trial balance periodically, usually at the end of every reporting period. The general purpose of Batek Bae producing a trial balance is to ensure that the entries in the business bookkeeping system are recording properly and tally among debit and credit. After that, the next process is adjustment. An accounting adjustment is a business transaction that has not yet been included in the accounting records of a business. Batek Bae eventually record the recordation of supplier invoice and customer billing. However, if such transactions have not yet been recorded on the end of an accounting period, or if the entry incorrectly states the impact of the transaction, the accounting staff of Batek Bae will make accounting adjustment by using adjusting entries. After the adjusting entries have been prepared, the accounting staff of Batek Bae will listing of the ending balance in all account in an adjustment trial balance. Purpose of adjustment are used in business to verify that the total of the debit balance equal with the total of all credit balance in all account that involved in Batek Bae business. Last but not least are financial statement. Financial statement will be prepared after all the transactions are equally and balanced. The primary financial statement prepared for a Batek Bae are the income statement and the balance sheet. Two other statements, the statement of changes in owner's equity and the statement of cash flow, are also often prepared. The financial statement may be handwritten or typed, but most often are prepared on a computer. With a computerized accounting system, the business owner can generate financial statement without first preparing a worksheet. That's all from me. Next, I will pass to Ms. Aina for continue the presentation.
Thank you to Ms. Anis, and I will continue to the next slide, which is the strengths and weaknesses of the recording process. Hi, my name is Aina Nadia binti Jailani. Batek Bae is one of the online boutiques that sells versatile clothes with a batik concept. They meant to be comfy and affordable for the wearer. They are also various sizes and designed for men and women, not forgetting clothes for our children. And I will be presenting about the strengths and weaknesses of the recording process. Based on the recording process presented by Ms. Anis just now, there are a few strengths and weaknesses that the owner found during run the business. Let's start with the strength. First one is the comparison of the result. All the businesses use comparative analysis as a way to identify their competitive position and operating result over a defined period. These statements help in determining the profitability of the businesses by comparing financial data from 2 or more accounting periods. Next, The using of petty cash format as a cash payment journal ensure the cash transaction can be recorded more effectively and the owner can be aware with the exact balance of cash in hand. In addition, the owner as accountant, it can save the cost of hiring an accountant. It's something that the Batek Bae must do to protect their small business against contradiction in their books, audits, and even lawsuits. Batek Bae also can keep the documents such as receipt, tax return, and also contracts. On the other hand, the witnesses of recording process of the company, there is no document system and procedure. Batek Bae have some difficulties to trace customer payment by digital wallet or e-wallet and even cash payment as is recorded manually. This could happen if there are no proper records or as the organization becomes larger and more complex. So, by the end of the day, they will have a problem to record the sales because of the number of customers and the profit they earn are not the same as the data recorded manually and in the system. Next, for the witnesses in the recording process is unaware of position in marketplace. Position refers to the place the owner wants their brands or product to have within a particular target market. As we all know, Batek Bae sells clothes for men and women with element of batik patterns. Lastly, the owner lack of accounting knowledge. Accountant tends to have skills area that are perfect for the position of CEO, but solely their accounting skills and knowledge will not help the owner to record all the data accurately and facilitate the work of filing. Thank you.